Hello everyone, I'm going to be looking at this table tennis match I played the other day, and for context, my opponent was the fourth player in my group and I was the third player in my group, so it turned out to be quite a close match. I found generally today on this tournament I was mentally in quite a good position. I felt like I was going for points and believing in myself too. That's a big part of the game, I think. If you don't believe you're going to hit the shot on, then you do make more mistakes. And if you've seen a few of my previous table tennis videos in the past, my backhand is a big weakness of mine, and I had taken a 2-week break from playing, and I literally got back and played this tournament without any training. But I watched a video on like a backhand tutorial for table tennis, and I realised that I have a very forehand oriented grip, and that you're actually supposed to change your grip between both the shots and put your thumb slightly higher on the backhand to put more pressure, and that really helps with control. And I found this tournament in general I was able to hit a few backhand winners, which I wasn't doing any of at all in the last few tournaments. And that action that you see me doing there, where I put my back to my head, that's something I've noticed recently, that when I try and lift a ball with my forehand, I often go too much up and not enough forwards, and my finishing position goes to my head as opposed to in front of my head. So that's something I need to work on. That was a nice block from him. And I have found that from this tournament I've gained quite a lot of perspective in my game in general, and I think it helps that I took a 2-week break, because I was able to mull over my weaknesses, and also the training that I've been doing at my club afterwards. I've been taking those weaknesses into account, and I've also figured out why my serves aren't as good as they could be, because for the serve I do the most of, which you'll probably see here, I did a long serve land, but I normally try to do short backspin serve, but the first bounce is often at the middle of my side of the table and then the middle of their side, so it often goes long. The second bounce would be long and they'd be able to attack it most of the time. And a friend at the club that I play at told me that my wrist is and my arm is too, it's too tight when I serve, and the first bounce is too far towards the middle. It should be close to the edge of my side of the table, and that way the first bounce is closer on my side and the second bounce on their side is closer to the net. So I didn't talk about that set at all, so I'm sorry, but I'll do some more actual analysis in this next set. Okay, here we go. You can see my enthusiasm is a lot better than it normally is. I'm celebrating after that point and pumping my fist, which I don't normally do. And on my receive there, I pushed it when it was a floaty topspin serve. I probably could have stepped in and flicked it, although that's not a shot that I have to do very much, and it's not a shot that I practice very much either, so that's probably why I just pushed it back. But I did find, generally against this opponent, that he just wanted to push everything back, and that's not really what I wanted to do. That's not really my strategy in games. I don't like pushing everything back. I try and look for an opening. So I carried on that strategy and was just patient, waited for the right ball most of the time and tried to lift it. Here the guy's gone to pick up another ball from the desk because it's got caught up in that blue netting, which happened a few times during the day. I'm not sure whether I just rely too much on my arm for forehand topspins like that. And it worked as well. It had quite a lot of nice spin, but I can definitely use more of my legs to put power into the ball, I think. So there's a nice serve to my crossover. Again, 2 long serves and they're side spinny, and I just touch them back, but they both go out. So ideally, I've got to attack those ones. Okay, so that seems like a clear weakness for him. He's always ready to receive on his backhand as opposed to his forehand. And here you see one of those quite long rally of just pushing, and me putting too much power on the forehand. So there, although my backhand is nowhere near as good as my forehand, I did finish the rally quite nicely there with my backhand. I think maybe I'm too tense on my forehand sometimes, I just overexert myself. It looks too... you see, it looks like I'm putting too much effort in, and I'm just mistiming it because I'm so rigid. I did find when I played at my club the other day, as soon as my friend told me, just play a bit looser, don't tighten the arm so much on the serve, he said that, and then I found that if I served loosely, that set me up for the third ball, for the attack with the loose arm. Again, I should attack that ball. I think I stood up there. My position wasn't quite as... I stopped bending my knees as much. I pushed it and then I was sort of waiting for me to be able to attack. And then, because he pushed it to the middle again, I wasn't ready for it and I was too high up to give a good push back. Okay, on to the next set. It's 1-1 now. Go. I am going for the right shots, even though I'm making a few mistakes on my forehands. That is how I make points, how I win points. You know, serve, and then attack your third ball with my forehands normally. Nice down the line attack. And you can see I actually hit an aggressive flick there. Very happy with myself. I think, I presume I meant that serve to be float. I do normally tell whether it's float or... Well, when I try and do a backspin serve, it comes floaty, and then when I try to do a float serve, it's basically just topspin. So it works to some extent. What I was finding at the club the other day when I had a loose arm, I was getting a lot more backspin. Stepped in too far to the table then. I think sometimes I don't adjust my shot to the third ball. Like when you're serving, you should expect what kind of return to come back. Sometimes I might serve float as opposed to my more backspinny serve, and then I lift it like the same as if it's got the same amount of backspin. When you serve float, you should expect, you know, a return that doesn't have as much backspin on it, but I still lift it the same amount. So it's those things that I need to be aware of. But ultimately, in the moment, I don't analyse the ball like that. I just think, okay, here it comes, let's attack it. My bounce, my bounce is very good. I'm happy that I'm moving on the ball to my feet and I'm enthusiastic. It's very easy to get into that state of mind where you don't want to miss. You don't want to hit it into the net or out of the court, so you pass it back. But you always have to try to believe and go for the best shot that you can. And that's sometimes what I tell myself when I miss a shot like that. I try and stay positive and be like, okay, I missed the shot, but that was the right shot selection. Again, it always is a bit like a pendulum going in between, because he hit the previous shot into the net, and then I'm like, okay, I just need one more to win this set. And again, I'm more... Okay, that was good. But the previous point, I was more passive as opposed to attacking that long serve he did. That was nice. A backhand finisher, another one. Okay, I will fast forward it. Go. I did find his serves quite tricky because I suppose I was just touching them, and with any serve really you need to choose to do something with it. I suppose if it's just pure backspin, that is when you can touch it quite gently, but when it's side spin like that, the smallest contact, it just spins off really quickly and it's quite hard to control. So okay, that was lots of nice topspin on that ball, but I suppose I either needed to chop it or just put a bit more energy and attack the ball properly, drive through it a little bit. It doesn't always, I suppose there is an in-between of just touching it with, you know, not putting much forwards power into it at all and hitting a winner. Like, you can drive the ball slightly, which is what I wasn't doing on the return. One thing that I could look to do is in these rallies where it's push, 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 I always open up on the forehand and not the backhand, but that is just a confidence thing. I mean, this game I'm really happy that I'm hitting some backhand winners at all, and a backhand lift is even tougher than just hitting winners against topspin. So that was nice, but yeah, that point highlighted another weakness that I have, is that I attack the first ball, or the third ball then, and then he blocks it back to my forehand, and the fifth ball is often weaker. I don't recover it quite as well after the third ball. I suppose because it's often the third ball is normally a winner or you miss it. So that's another thing I need to focus on. So I changed up a little bit there. I had the opportunity to attack, but I did give him the opportunity to make a mistake, which I think it's fair to do sometimes. I seem to be overhitting the ball a lot this game, and just making unfortunate mistakes. Often the finishing shot, I get into the open rally and then maybe it is I'm just tightening up and I just need a bit more patience. I'm taking the ball very early, perhaps. But the reason that I think I'm hitting a lot of the balls out of the court is that I'm lifting, especially on my forehand, I'm lifting it as if I'm against backspin when it is just topspin, side spin most of the time. Now I will put it to the fifth game. Go. nice serve. I sometimes throw in there down to the middle. It wasn't very fast. It's a bit iffy, that serve. Sometimes I can get it fast and sometimes not. It's all about the wrist, like all serves basically. So that was where I tried to attack but didn't drive it enough, and the top spin overpowered my shot, which made it go out. Again, it seems a common theme that I sort of keep the rally going on the second or third shot of mine. It's a bit weaker, and then I go for a finishing shot. But I suppose I'm just trying to keep the rally going rather than making mistakes. I think it might be a recovery issue, actually. Like I was saying before, I hit the third ball, and then that was nice. I think I had predicted that at this point in the game, when he goes for a smash, it's almost always to the forehand. So I sort of just kept my bat there when I knew he was going for a smash and got a lucky return. The finishing shot again. It's a frustrating game when both opponents are missing finishing shots, and it's sort of like it could go either way. Again, the same thing. I attack the third ball. I think it was the third ball. Really nice. He blocks it, and I just pass it back. And it gets so nervy at this point because it's the fifth set and we're both making simple mistakes. I think that was just a lapse of mental concentration. The wall jump reset. I mean, from being a 5-3 up, it's just devastating to make mistakes like this. I think it is down to my mental, what I'm thinking mentally, and maybe the fact that it is just the fifth set, there's that added tension. That was key as well. I should not have smiled at that point. Why am I laughing that I missed a serve? It needs to be... sometimes I get so close to winning games, and then the thought... And then the thought of winning overtakes me. And it's almost like I've already celebrated because I'm so close. But I need to remind myself that no, I haven't won the game yet. I need to focus on every single point until the end, even if I'm like 10-5 up. Again, why am I smiling? Yeah, just frustrating, nervy, close finishing game. I feel like we both made quite a few mistakes. I particularly made. I particularly feel like I was dominant and I attacked first in most of the rallies, but I definitely tightened up and missed the finishing shot, which is probably what gave it to him at the end, and also just a bit of a lapse in concentration at the end there. A really close game with him, but I think it shows a lot of what I can improve on. And definitely once I carry on practicing my serves, making sure they're short with backspin and being able to throw in a float serve and then long serves, once I get that down, along with the other things that I mentioned, like recovery and staying loose in the rally, I'm sure I'll be able to, bring through more games, which is great. That is the end of this one. I recorded basically every game from this tournament. I think one didn't record right to the end because I ran out of storage, but I played 6 in total, so stay tuned for the next few ones. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.